Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Thryss. If you are new, welcome. And if you are a returning little yarn gremlin, welcome back. I'm happy to have you no matter what. So, my goodness, it's been a minute since I've talked to you guys. It's been over a month since I've recorded fresh content. Everything up to this point for the past few weeks has been pre-recorded since before my trip to meet my grandbaby. And the next several videos are also pre-records from that time. So, I had planned to do a video today talking about the upcoming baby shower and what we're doing with that because things happened. Talking about my daughter's birth story, talking about my grandbaby and all of the just wonderful, beautiful, lovey things that have to do with that trip. But something happened. So I'm pivoting and I have to talk about something negative, and I have to address it, I think. And I don't want to put those two things together. So if you're here for yarn and crochet content, I don't have that for you on this video, unfortunately. And I'm sorry. I do like to keep my channel about yarn and crochet content. I've really pulled back with the personal stuff. But what happened. So I am going to talk about the baby shower and the plans. So if you want to know about that, I will put that first. And this other crap can come after it. And it's up to you whether you listen to it or not. To cover my booty, everything I'm saying is alleged. Everything is my opinion. I think that should probably cover it. Okay, so the baby shower. We originally was going to do the baby shower a few weeks before leaving for the trip. But the birth had to be scheduled. I'm not going to get into it. The birth happened early, and so our trip plans changed drastically. So the kids and us talked about how we wanted to handle the baby shower now, and we decided, well, all the gifts out their house. There was only 2 things here. Everything was being sent to their house. And so we're like, well, why don't we just do it when we're there? We'll all be together. All the items are there. We can, maybe show off the baby if they're comfortable. The kids don't do this for a living. Like, they don't record videos. They don't do lives. They don't do this sort of thing. So doing it in 2 separate places really was not the ideal situation either. It was just going to be easier for me to be there, know how to do all this, and let's just do it together. So that was the plan. We go. Not going to get into it, but the baby had complications, and the baby's hospital visit was longer than what was intended. And a very short amount of time after finally getting home with her, Charles finds out that he has the big C. YouTube likes to demonetize that word, so the big respiratory thing that starts with a C. In the interim of these 2 things, we were in survival mode. We were taking care of baby and sleeping. That's it. That's all that was happening. Because, oh my gosh, I forgot how much a newborn baby is to take care of, and how little they sleep, and how tired it makes you. Because it's been a while for me. So the day that we were supposed to do the baby shower while we were there is when he found out he had that. We had to cut our trip short and leave. I didn't want to, but I had to. Because I can't afford, in my health state right now, to get something like that. I can't fight it very easily. And Patrick has a respiratory issue where it makes it scary for him as well. So we had no choice. We had to leave. It was horrible. I already didn't want to leave, and anyway, having to cut the trip short really sucked. So, sorry. So we had to leave. We get home, and it took, we didn't really sleep. Andrew's the only driver, so I try to stay awake to help him stay awake. It's a long trip. It's 1,100 miles, and I have to stop a lot. I can't ride for very long in a vehicle. So it's a long trip. We got home, we slept for a day, and then I had to hit the sub boxes immediately. And then I started getting sick, and Patrick started getting sick. So we got sick anyway. And so I had to do sub boxes while being sick and everything like that. They were sick there. So this whole week and a half that we've been home, this is only the second Thursday since being home. The first one, we were sick and I'm doing sub boxes. Now we have this Thursday. Because that's usually when I do lives. So we were all sick, just trying to get through it. We don't know how long we're going to be sick for. First time I had this, I was sick for months. None of us knew what that timeline was going to be. And here we are 1,100 miles apart again, trying to figure out how we're going to do this baby shower. We have figured it out, by the way, which I'm going to tell you now, but we didn't figure it out until last night. We're only just starting to feel better. So what's going to happen with that is the kids are recording opening up the gifts. They're going to send me that video, and they're going to send me a list of names. They did the best they could to put items to people's names, but some of them might be mixed up. There are some things that they couldn't find. It's somewhere in the apartment. They just moved in there. They're still getting the whole place set up. And we brought them a ton of boxes of their stuff that they had to leave here when they moved. So their little apartment was just chock full of boxes. And every day it was just like digging through a box trying to find something that we needed. They did their best. We do have a full list of names. There was a couple things that ended up getting left behind here by accident. They fell off the pile. They got moved somewhere that they weren't supposed to be. So it will not be a complete thing, and we do apologize for that. We are going to do the best that we can to when we locate those things, putting those things out in like a short or something like that. I want everybody to get their recognition because we are eternally grateful for what everybody did. So we're going to do the gifts in a video, and then we're going to have a live, and the live is going to be games and the giveaway. And we'll probably reread all the names on there as well. So it's taken us a minute to figure out how we were going to do this because life happens. Now, to preempt things that I'm sure people will want to comment or ask. I know, well, let me just get into what was said. Okay, so there is somebody, a particular person out there, and I know who they are, who is running their mouth. They're always running their mouth. They're always creating these negative narratives. And they have started one about this. The reason I'm addressing this is just because fire spreads. I have the truth on my side. I'm not worried about it. I know 99% of you understand life happens, and you know my heart. You know the kind of person I am, and that I would never do what I'm being accused of doing. But not everybody watches all the videos. Not everybody sees the community tabs. And fire is catching. So that is why I'm going to address it. Just to make for sure you hear it from my mouth what the plans are, and from my mouth, my story. This person is saying that I'm using you, that I created a registry just to get from you, and that I canceled the parties and I'm not going to be having them. For some reason they think they know. I don't know. And speaking a lot more ill, negative things that I'm not going to put into it. I'm just going to keep it to more personal digs. That I'm not going to give, I'm not going to give light to that. It doesn't deserve it. We are doing the baby shower. We are doing all of the things that I said I would do. I'm not using anybody. I don't need to. I made the baby shower because so many people so lovingly wanted to help. My daughter made a registry not related to this. So many people wanted to help. So I shared the registry because they wanted to be aunties and grandmas, and it's so sweet. And the kids needed it, frankly, you know. I mean, Andrew and I would have taken care of it, but they need the community. They don't have a community. And you guys are incredibly giving. It was nobody's responsibility. I put none of this responsibility on anybody. The only people's responsibility it was Andrew and I's. But people really, really wanted to contribute something to the kids. They're excited for them. They're new parents. It's a beautiful thing. And you're a nasty person for trying to try to tarnish that. But that's what you keep doing. And I'm talking to this one person, not you guys. You keep bringing nasty ugliness everywhere you're going. And I've sat here and bore witness to it for over a year now. And it's just, our community doesn't need that and doesn't want that. So the reason I'm addressing it, for those probably thinking that I don't need to and could just take the high road and ignore it and let it go. Yes, I could. But I want to make sure that you guys know the truth. I also needed to tell you the update on the shower anyway. But it gets frustrating to have this barrage happen and not say anything. Because this person doesn't come right out and put it all out there. They're working in the shadows. So I'm frankly tired of it, and I'm not alone. A lot of you know who I'm talking about and are tired of it as well. I want all of you to, in these discords, and these Reddits and the places that these things are happening, use a discerning heart and think about who you see before you versus what you hear. I'm not worried about it because I know the people who truly understand and get me knows that I would never use anybody. I haven't asked for help. I haven't done personal auctions. I haven't done anything like that. I deal with mine on my own. And I wouldn't use anybody. I would never do that to any of you. I wouldn't do that to somebody I don't like. Much less do it to people I absolutely adore. But I guess this is also, I'm trying to be very careful with what I say. This person is mad. They're mad because they're losing their paid modships left and right. And you only have yourself to blame for that. That's your fault because of the things that you're saying and doing. That has nothing to do with me or anybody else. Nobody's working against you. You're doing it to yourself. But you're coming after people. Guys, I'm not alone. This is one thing in a long list of a lot of people. I've sat here and I've watched it. And us creators talk to each other. We've seen it. We know what each other's going through. This person is sowing seeds of dissent in this community and we don't need it. There's a few people who are, but I'm speaking solely to this person. I don't want to create a whole situation of say the name. I'm not saying the name because that can come back on me. And this person knows who they are. And a lot of you will know who I'm talking about just by some of the things that I've said. I have zero desire to blast this person out there. I'm just making sure you understand. I'm deciding what's staying in this video. I'm making sure that you understand that I haven't used you. I'm sure you know that. I'm making sure you know that there are plans moving forward for the baby shower because you deserve to know that. But I'm also at my breaking point and I've had enough. A lot of us have had enough of the shenanigans. We've had enough of the negativity being spread, of our community being turned into something it's not supposed to be, us being torn apart. This is not what any of us want. You know who you are and you need to stop, because a lot of people know what you're doing and know that it's you, and you're not fooling very many, and those who you are will learn eventually. It needs to stop. So I'm not having my name dragged down. I'm not having my name dragged through the mud. So if you think I shouldn't have said anything, I hear what you're saying and I understand, but it's not your name being dragged through it. And it hasn't been your name being dragged through it behind the scenes for a year now. At every opportunity this person gets to badmouth, they do on their public name constantly in lives talk about some of my friends, and recently said some pretty vile stuff. So they're not just doing it in the shadows, they're doing it publicly as well. And the onus cannot keep being on the victims. And I say that because I don't know another word to use. I'm nobody's victim. But the responsibility keeps being on us to take the higher road, to keep our mouth shut, to not address stuff. It gets tiring. It gets tiring. I'm sure I'll have backlash from this. That's okay. I don't care. Whatever. I'm just going to ignore it. People might unsub. I understand. You know, this isn't something that I have on my channel all the time. It's 99% of the time crochet and yarn related, but sometimes things need to be addressed. The personal attacks don't bother me. But, so that's why I didn't even address them. But the thing about the baby shower and stuff like that, it's just, I don't know. Anyway, so if anybody out there was worrying or wondering, that's what's going on with it. And I don't want this person to sit here and try to ruin such a beautiful thing that you guys all came together to do. There's a lot, gosh guys, it's just, I stay away from the Discord and the Reddit and everything like that, but there's There's so many things. There's so many things that are going on, being said about a lot of people, about content creators in general. That's just not true. And they're messing with people's channels. They're messing with people's livelihood at this point. Anyway, that's it. I don't know how much of everything that I just said is going to make it in here. I'm going to view it, edit it. I probably said a lot more than I should have. A lot more than needed to be said. But frankly, I'm frustrated. A lot of us are. And anyway. So I'm going to move on to bigger, better things. I have lots of other yarn content coming up, tutorials, things like that. And we will get into the birth story and everything like that. And we will have the baby shower and all that stuff coming up. The kids are almost done recording the video. Then I have to edit it and everything like that. But so it won't be this week. But it will be soon. I'm going to say, you know, sometime in October. I just don't know when. But to everybody who contributed, genuinely, from the depths of my soul, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. So do the kids. You guys showed up in such a big way and really helped them be able to have a better start to parenthood. So as a mama and now grandmama, I really appreciate you for helping my babies out. It really means a lot. So I love you guys, and just I want to give a little I don't know what you call it. Just because you can get away with doing something without people seeing or people knowing that it's you doesn't mean it's right. The big man upstairs can see it all and still hold you accountable. You should, you know, do the right thing even when people don't know that you're doing it. That's a true test of somebody's character. When they do the right thing when nobody's looking and they won't be found out. So, I'm sorry to bring this kind of video on here, but if this video doesn't quite fit, like, it feels really big. I said a whole lot of things and it feels really big compared to the, you know, comparatively kind of small thing that happened. There's much more to it. You guys are seeing the tip of the iceberg because I'm leaving a lot out. I'm leaving a lot out intentionally because I'm not bringing that on here. And there's so many things being said about so many people, and it's not my place to speak on those things. So I'm only talking about my little part. But this is a way massive bigger picture. And so know if it seems really big for something really small, it really isn't small. It's a really big problem. And it's been a growing problem for a while now. This is just my little part of it. And I'm not even saying my whole part of it because the personal attacks, they don't matter. I don't care. I give them no validity. I know who I am as a person, and another person's opinion of me does not define me, and it changes nothing for me. At the end of the day, I know who I am. So, just to say that. All right. I'm going to let you guys go before I say anything else that maybe shouldn't be said, because I'm a little upsetty spaghetti. So, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay weird, and stay discerning. I will see you guys later.